All right. Hello. This is the replay code you sent me. If you hear my idiots in the background, just know that you're having a fun time over a bone. Okay. All right. So, New Queen Street. See what our DPS go. Could be decently brawly so far.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
I don't really like your guys' comp just because it's not, I don't know. It could be better so far, I suppose.
Hold fast! Do not let them through!
So here's a little nitpick. A lot of people do this actually. Let's see if I can, yeah. This is the long way. If you go, ooh, I can sprint with the camera, nice. If you go this way, or sometimes even this way, you'll see, you actually get to the point significantly faster than going all the way around here and then setting up that way. But like I said, all these people went the extra long way, so I mean it's pretty common. Back to you here. Okay.
You honor me!
A taste of poison.
Alright.
An eldritch blessing.
Alright, let's just go back here.
You honor me!
A taste of poison.
So both of those were pretty bad just because there was very little chance you were actually going to land that pin, and she ate your fire strike, which you know she has defense matrix because the match just started.
They've taken
Opportunity. Alright, so what I would do personally here in this situation is you have a Mei that's all by herself over here, and she was just over here stepping around this corner. Instead of going after the diva, I would have went after one of those two, probably her, just because she's kind of, she's kind of messed up at the moment. But you guys are, you're down a DPS actually. She died, and the other one hasn't even chosen their character yet. So honestly, going in at this point would be really bad. So hopefully no committing here. Yeah,
They're pushing the barricade! Stop them!
I should have emphasized, only go after her if the rest of your team isn't dead. But like I said, one DPS is just not there, and then the other one sucks and died already, so. So fortunately, it's just kind of a reset before the match even really gets started.
Time to save the world?
Push.
Game on!
He was already.
Full 36, proportion duty.
Diva versus Diva. So something he could have improved on here was this guy was able to be killed relatively easily. Let's see here. Back to you. I can change this here. Come down here with the intent that you're gonna kill a squishy, right? And then you're like, oh hey, maybe I should the mercy, which first of all I would have boosted into the mercy into somebody instead of just boost and then kind of stop before you hit anybody and then melee because that's a big burst of damage and you're not really sneaking up on anyone, so you could always always be firing and whatnot. So firing, boost, and melee. Just because when you boost, you do damage, and then melee is another 30 on top of that. So it's very good for taking out people that are already missing a good chunk of health too. She's very killable here, and then instead of going after her, you go after Diva, and you're like, oh wait, Sojourn's low. Diva's low. Go after her. Even though we had two targets that could have already been killed, right? So if you would have finished up and killed Mercy, then that probably would have pulled Diva off of the Sojourn, which meant the Sojourn could have died too. So you could have actually had Mercy and Sojourn dead, and then demech Diva in this instance. Going after her with very, very low health. You don't have your ult, so and you just use boosters, so you want to be extremely careful in this situation, right? Because even though you are up, I mean, you're still able to be killed. And they have 4 now instead of just 2 or 3. So it's likely going to happen is she's going to come around the corner, she's going to nade, and then probably sleep you. Fortunately, you did get that kill, though, and you were able to back off. You knew that shit was coming, and you just kind of stood there and ate it. And that was really bad on your part, because then you had to use your ult to get back into the game. Now you couldn't finish up their team mostly because of poor choice, right? Like instead of taking out those 2 really important guys, we kind of just messed around trying to finish off Diva, and then we didn't go after Baby Diva, and then we went after Sojourn, but it took so long that the other 2 got back. So now it's basically your whole team versus, or excuse me, 3 of your team versus our whole team now. Basically is just more like an error in picking. If you would have been faster, if you would have done it in the correct order, then you probably would have actually won this fight. But instead, what happened is you took so long actually doing it that they just all got back and ended up killing your team instead. I would get very frustrated. But instead, what we kind of did was instead of using a booster to the see here, to the high ground is what I would have done. Booster all the way up here, got this health, possibly, or maybe even just like ran back here, right? Because you've got Moira kind of AFK and spawn, and that's the closest support you've got. Instead, we booster into the health pack over here with no health. Again, getting this health pack is only like 75 health, so that's really not a whole lot when you have like a max of 700. And now damage boost Diva, like basically their whole team is able to just dong on you there, and these two over here are gonna mess around. Doesn't matter, because these three here are more than capable of killing you by themselves. That's just more of a survival thing because, I mean, immediately you're thinking, okay, where's a health pack? And there's one, I mean, literally right next to you. But doing so, you just went into their territory because they have more people there. So it's kind of so I mean, you could determine whether or not, like you saw, most of your team was dead, so you have to make a decision: do I fly closer to them and get the health pack, or do I fly farther away, wait for my team to come back, and then we kind of go in. But that's just something like where is my team? What are they doing? And how long are they going to take to get here if they aren't here? So.
Surrender to my will.
Nerf I'm not giving up.
This ends now.
I'm coming in hot. Diving in.
Heroes never die.
Alright, so I would say this is pretty not good, unfortunately, as well. Because we see that D.Va is up here, and the thing is, if you were to fly up here, you might not have been able to kill her, but this guy wouldn't be dead. Like, I guarantee you he dies here. I mean, she's got heal ball and stuff coming, but she can eat it and all that. And Mercy is unfortunately too worried about saving you, which you are technically in a bad spot because it's, what, 2v4. I mean, yeah, you could say that, oh, Mercy's kind of low, whatever, but, I mean, Sojourn just got revived, so she can do... Stop doing that. Stop doing that. No. She can do a shitload of damage, and then, she's gonna nade and sleep, so it doesn't even matter if you're naded, it doesn't even matter if she's here helping you, right? And then she can block off your escape, make you slower, and just make your life hell. But we know this guy up here is going to die. I mean, like, I know that because I can visually see that on the replay thing. But it should be kind of trying to go without saying that a tank directly on your backline and about to kill when your DPS is very, very bad. In certain situations, it might be better to make that call, but considering how much health she has, she's a little bit, and actually probably exactly half, and one of your guys is about to die, coming here, maybe standing in the doorway so she can't get out, right? And then you got a confirmed kill on that, and now it's your whole team. Like, Soldier would probably survive because you could defense matrix a Soldier. So, if you confirm that kill, right, stand here so she can't leave, defense matrix Soldier until he gets some health, and then, shoot her, kill her, and then you've got 5 dudes coming onto these guys down here that honestly can't do anything when it's, 5v4, they don't have their tank. You can eat the matrix, you can eat her super sniper shots. Did I just say eat the matrix? You could eat her sleep and nade. Yeah, so always thinking about what you can that can be eaten by D.Va. So as soon as she says, you can, if you activate your matrix and look at her, then you can just eat that. But I would definitely fly out of there. Yeah. You were in a pretty good position to eat that, actually. You were like touching her, basically.
I'm on initializing system. Get action. Healing there. Neutralizing projectile. Diving in. Nerf this.
Wow. Okay, so, well, it seems like, oh yeah, that's a very good play. You kind of let the you let May just kind of like sit behind you for free. When there's a squishy around in a situation like that, I know the last situation I was like, oh, you want to chase the diva down, make sure, but that was because she was in a very killable state, and you were gonna be able to save your own DPS. However, she's very, very squishy, and she was like here, and you were here. You could have turned around, and her healers wouldn't have been able to get to her, right? Because like um, Anna would just shoot you in the back instead of healing May, right? So she'd be shooting you in the back, and then you'd, uh, be micro missiling her, shooting her, boom, easy kill. So then it's 5v4. Um, Something to think about there. The ult seemed okay, right? But you actually got very lucky because she could have ice blocked your ult, uh, and then like the mech coming down, and then kind of just shot you in the face, or just shot you in the face you in general, right? Because she can, I think, one shot Baby Diva, so that was very lucky.
Helden sterben nicht. Escorting the robot. Let's move.
I do like what you did. Unfortunately, the team just kind of died to some lame shit. But what you did there, you got an elimination, you chased them away, you turned around and finished off the people that were behind you. I do like that. I like you did it. Here's a big nitpick that I have that I see you do all the time, actually. You are playing the payload princess. I would leave that honestly for, in this case, I would probably say like a soldier or sojourn, where they by themselves can push the payload and then you can go up and like do something, right? Because these two guys were just kind of here getting free low, which free low's a meme in the Overwatch community, but basically they're just sitting here for free. Maga didn't show up till just a minute ago, but if you would have came around here and shot them from, at this angle, you might have been able to get a pick on one of these two guys, preferably the Mercy. But instead, we are on the payload, not doing anything. And um, the reason why you don't want the tank to be on the payload is because the tank is in charge of taking space, right? So what that means is you are setting up so that your team can have free roam of the map. And the more space that you have, the more that they're able to do, right? But if you're on the payload right here, you're all on the payload, and your immediate area is the only part of the map you have control of, right? So like if they went here, like if Soldier ran up here, I mean, this isn't, their part of the map really. So uh Sojourn could, very, very easily kill him. I mean, you know, lots of different stuff could happen, but they're kind of set up in a weird spot too. I mean, these two guys, the reason I say push these two guys is because they're not really in that great of a spot. Until he got here, it was actually a pretty bad look for them. But Sojourn up here, actually, what I would be doing is I wouldn't be on the payload. I would be kind of up here trying to contest these guys. Once I noticed this guy was up by himself, I would fly up here, just murder his whole family, and then come back down here and see what was going on. But mostly as a tank, you don't want to be directly on the payload unless you are very, very few circumstances where that's where you want to be. Because, like I said, you want to set up, you want Soldier, you want Soldier up here feeling safe, you want Soldier over here feeling safe. If these guys weren't here, you'd want Soldier over here feeling safe. But if you're on the payload and he's over here by himself, let's pretend these guys aren't here. If he's over here by himself, he's not safe. He's kind of extended, hoping to get some damage, and then you're just kind of AFK, not doing anything on the cart in that scenario. ulted, I would be definitely looking to help some people out. Especially from that range, Mei would not be able to beam her. She would have to icicle, so you turning around and kind of eating that as you can. Because even she might get caught in it. Um, so yeah, I would definitely, even though Baga is kind of eating your booty, if everybody survives, then that's, her ult is wasted. Whereas right now, I mean, she could double headshot her, and then now it's 4v5, and you would still probably be demeched because you're just sitting here eating Maga shots to the face. Unfortunately, got that off. In higher elo lobbies, you might not have got that off because she just walked right in front of the Mei and just kind of, you stand there to revive, so that's, not great. Very bold to get closer while you're baiting. Wow, he actually got rid of it. This is worth you paying attention to when you got destroyed by your... I would be screaming at each other right now, not in the mic, but like on the game. Sometimes they don't know, like kind of in Maga's situation there, they don't really know when you need healing, right? They're like, oh, we're rolling it, we're fine, and then, turns out you're not. A better Ana would have slept you right there. Like, I know it didn't happen, so it's kind of hard to, kind of dictate, to kind of coach you into that. But if let's say you were playing like gold or plat, you would have been asleep right there and dead. So when you're getting close to your ult, just make sure you're in a spot where you can either like flank them and get a free, goofy haha, I just smash you kill, or like a safe actual remake. I would leave because it's basically you versus all of them, and your team is all dying. And Maga, I mean, we saw in the replay, we saw Maga was in their face, but it's kind of again, like we know Maga's here, right? We saw him come down the stairs, but now he's gone. So now we have to ask, well, where is he? Where am I? Where's my team? Well, he's over here absolutely ruining this guy. It looks like your team is coming to help, but honestly, you probably all should be shooting him because it would take forever for her to get all the way around here to see him. But if the four of you were shooting him, then he'd be dead, and then you'd be in the same like really, really good situation that you would have been in before. But realistically, what's going to happen now is yeah, I would say you're gonna get demeched. He's gonna Sojourn's gonna die. He's gonna come around here, and then it's gonna be kind of a lost fight, I'd imagine.
Surrender to my will.
The robot's an enemy
Ana did
hand.
get destroyed though. So it doesn't really matter what they do. I mean, unfortunately, they made the wrong choice on who to help. I think honestly they should have let you die and went over after the Sojourn, because that them going in there and helping you like that meant that now, like, look at where they're at. They're like way across the map in enemy territory. They're actually like pushing the bot to where your teammate went to go hide. So now basically your teammate is technically throwing because I mean, in their eyes they're not, but they're stalling, and what they should be doing is just dying so that everybody could regroup, instead of like trying to delay it, delay the inevitable. Good players would just hunt them down and kill them, but they're not pushing the bot.
Rally near the robot and keep
All
pushing!
of them really
Come on!
What do we think is bad about this situation? Or good? What do we think? You are again alone. Um, all five of them could look at you in an instant, and these guys are still playing catch up over here. And this guy, I mean, he could help. He could probably just headshot her. I highly doubt that'll happen. Um, but you are for sure dead in this situation. Honestly, what I would have done um, is wait in this window because I'm not sure if you know or not, but this window up here, you can actually contest the bot. So when the bot was here, if you would have sat here, that kind of that means that they have to try to get you out of the window, right? And then you can, eat what you needed to eat as far as like, cooldowns. Your team would have came back. You might have to give up some space because I mean you couldn't sit here forever, right? Especially with Moira gone. Um, that's just personally what I would have done, and then try to look and see who you could go after, if anybody, because once you leave, they're gonna all wrap around this way, and then that's probably what I would have went down here and kind of try to go after somebody. Well, Soldier did get one guy though, but still going back. Actually, someone is back.
They've taken the robot. How irksome.
Careful, there's more of them than us.
Unfortunately, they didn't leave. They just kind of stuck around. Ultimately, when like you're super down like that, you just need to get out of there. Like you died, so your team just needed to leave. Instead, they just stuck around and they all got wiped. Like I said, a lot of stuff I think that you're gonna go through is kind of decision making. A big thing here is being out in the open. I would have been around just because like Maga does a ton of damage, right? And if he was coming up like here, I would have probably played somewhere like here or in the window or something, because I'm pretty sure you could sit in the window and then stop him from moving it. But um, like here, like let's say that wall isn't there for whatever reason it is there though. Let's say that wall's not there. Where are you gonna go, right? If you need health, I mean, immediately where are you gonna go, right? I mean, you could go to the room to the right, but you're probably gonna have to waste a cooldown. Um, Earlier you were farther to the left, which means that you had even less cover. You're just able to be shot by everybody, and you're in kind of a losing state at the moment. Because I mean it's 26.6 to 98. They're kind of rolling you guys, right? So yeah, definitely try to approach the battle a little bit differently. The wall's up, you're just kind of ignore. Actually, you know what? I would say this is a good play. I would say this is a decent idea because you're getting them to back off, so that Maga can be killed. Yeah. Can't block that. So. Yeah. So I would say here your fail is majorly defensively, because you didn't block. You didn't block any damage. You didn't block any damage. You didn't hide from any damage. So, Maga shot you the whole time, and, then she activated a little ice beam, and you had your matrix out like you were going to block it. Um, Bastion, started shooting, and I think that's what you were trying to matrix, but he wasn't really able to shoot you through the payload. And you kind of move this way. Actually, it does kind of look like that might have connected. It's super weird. But, yeah, this was just a positional error because you weren't. I mean, you could have flew here, you could have hid up and around here, and I know it's mostly bad for them if they're standing here, but if your teammates were to rotate, what the hell is she doing? If your teammates were to rotate here, they have plenty to hide behind too. So like they could hide here, and then once if Bastion came between the car and the stairs, they could just go here, and now he can't shoot him, right? Because that's a big component of Bastion being in turret form is when he goes into turret form, how can you waste it? Because he's always going to want to activate turret form when he's in advantage. So you need to find out how to make it so that he doesn't have that advantage anymore. But yeah, this is 100% positional error, not defending against him. So you can see him, literally be able to stand more still. It's just standing out in the open. He's the cover there.
Initializing system.
Wow.
Initiating the pence matrix. Nothing gets past me.
Tactical visor activated.
This never dies.
I would have flown upwards actually, but I mean you still got. Like a split second sooner, you would have blasted out of it. Yeah, unfortunately for Bastion, he got scared there. He could have just walked forward and killed you because you were out in the open again.
Diva, back in
And
action.
I mean, Mercy could have damaged him if he would have been dead.
Nothing gets past me.
Let's see here.
My power
I just want to look at
emanates.
something. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say you should have went in here, but actually no, because you're the only one on point. So this is the only time to really be a payload princess. Because if you would have stepped off and went over there, like I honestly would have just went in there and killed that Mercy. And then you would have lost. Oops. I don't think he really anything. Again, I guess you don't really know until you try, but like you could have wrapped around here, and as long as you try to like maintain that distance, I mean, you could kind of play with it a little bit. Like if you came here, like and took one more step, and then the overtime meter started to drop, then you could just come back. But it's definitely just, I mean, there's very few instances where standing just completely out in the open is a good idea. The micro missile aim can use some work. I like
It's
that.
a skill issue. Surrender.
You can actually shoot the center device. That puts it shit up. Right, okay.
Diving in.
Helden sterben nicht.
It's our turn. Let's push forward.
Unfortunately, it's a really, really close game. Like close versus like overtime because the team is again. You could eat that. Totally hit that.
Quitting. Stick with the robot.
But nobody is thinking about sitting on payload but you. So unfortunately, you kind of have to. Because if any of those guys step off, oh shit, lost that. So this is no HP.
Cover your strength.
Okay, yeah, you're just standing there getting blasted by Junkrat bombs. No bueno.
Nerf this.
That was huge. I was hoping they wouldn't be able to hide from that, and that was good. I like that one. That actually just hopefully they stay on the payload, but you should be able to push this. It's very important to get that kill. Yeah. Nice.
Affirmative.
Alright.
Come on.
As long as you have
We're
somebody on
almost
the
at
payload,
finish
it's 100% okay to go forward, because right now basically all they're doing is just moving. The soldier has his ult, so that's That is muy bueno. You kind of whiffed that. I get it.
Initiate defense matrix. Start pushing the barricade.
Have a chance at victory.
Oh, I don't know what happened. It just kind of ended. Weird. Okay. Well, hopefully you won that. I don't know if you did or not, but I think that ultimate is largely what stopped their progression because they had all 5 people and you wiped out 4 of them. You got a 4K with the bomb. That was huge. So that was a very good play. All right, that is where I'm gonna end this.